Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan Parr, physical therapist and owner of Parr PT. And we also have Lindsay Mitchell from Vital Signs. She is a PA. And the goal for today is really for us to cover the mind-body connection and how it affects chronic illness and chronic symptoms. So today's topic is going to be stress and anxiety. And given the times that we're in right now, I know that's something that's been a lot higher as of late due to whether it's the pandemic or job loss or maybe some internal things relationship-wise. It's something that's caused the body to act a little bit different from what you're used to. And with stress and anxiety, we're looking at things that are happening within the body that are causing some form of dysregulation. It could be various things. And, Lindsay will be able to mention more about some of these internal things that really pop up during times of high stress or high anxiety.
Totally, yeah. And so when we experience this heightened stress, it can be a really good thing because it can get us out of danger. And so initially when we experience this stress, right, we hear the word pandemic, and maybe we already have a chronic symptom like pain or fatigue or anxiety, and that gets heightened. And we're kind of wanting to take action because that fight or flight response turns on and those stress hormones get released, things like cortisol and adrenaline. And that can be really good, to get us out of danger. But what happens and what is detrimental to our health is when that acute stress becomes chronic stress. So, that cortisol is continually released. Our brain is constantly saying that there is a threat. And we release that cortisol, and that becomes dysregulated, and we release that adrenaline. And so this takes place far after we've rushed to the grocery store to get toilet paper. This takes place, over a couple of days, and we have that stress response and that physiological response. And what happens is that takes away focus, from our gut to digest. It increases the inflammation in our bodies. And all of a sudden, we're experiencing things like pain and fatigue. And it's because of that chronic stress response.
Yeah, so it's like when you think about, your day-to-day life and you're thinking about, okay, I'm waking up with anxiety. Why am I waking up like this? I haven't felt this before. Or, all of a sudden, as uncomfortable as it might be to talk about, but maybe your bowel movements have changed. Maybe you're having softer stools, and a lot of these could be signs of heightened stress or high anxiety. So it's nothing to be fearful about, but it's good to understand what it is. That way we can start addressing it as a way to, how can we get that body to calm down? So when you think about the body and how it responds to just any heightened stress, like you mentioned before, it's usually good if you need to run from a tiger and it's just you and the tiger, right? Well, if you're running from the tiger 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, your body is just going to crash. And that's essentially what it's doing. So it's important that we find ways to tap into the other side of the system. The parasympathetic side is a way to rest and digest and just calm the body. And there's a lot of different ways to do it, whether it's through breathing, whether it's through redirection of your attention. There's a lot of different things, but I think one of the strongest tools I know that we use in physical therapy is breathing. We have various forms of breathing, but I know that Lindsay herself has a tool that works great with being able to initially start that calming process.
Yeah, totally. So being in that state of fight or flight, you notice the changes in the bowel movements, you notice that inflammation, that pain, maybe your heart beats faster. Those are all very clear-cut signs that maybe you are sympathetic dominant or in that state of acute stress that maybe is becoming chronic stress. And we can make a change, like you said, Jonathan, we can get into that state of parasympathetic, or that state of growth and repair, rest and digest. And so breathing is a wonderful tool we can use. And something that I like to use in Vital Side is actually called left nostril breathing. So we'll learn it real quickly here so you can have a tool that you can use right at home to get back into that state of parasympathetic or rest and digest. And all you have to do is just take your forefinger, plug your right nostril, and breathe through your left nostril. So in and out through your left nostril, just like that. And basically what you're doing when you do that just for 1 minute is you're actually bringing oxygen to the right hemisphere of the brain, which turns on, it activates that parasympathetic response. And so you can do it sitting down, you can do it right before you walk into the grocery store, without the mask on. You can do it at home while you're lying in bed, breathing in and out your nostril, left nostril, just for about 1 minute. And that can activate the parasympathetic nervous system response and tell your brain that you are safe, that you are okay right now. You don't have to be activating those stress hormones and releasing them in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's good too if, to try it out, if you find that there's certain times that you do get maybe more anxious and more stressed out. I know in my case, it can be right before bed if I'm thinking about what I'm doing the next day. It's something that I've done before bedtime, and it's really helped calm me down. So just using, your life situations as a way to adjust and apply these methods as a way to slowly begin teaching your body how to relax and not go into that hyperdrive.
Totally.
Thanks, Lindsay. That's great.
Yeah, awesome.
Now, if you do have any follow-up questions, you can feel free to reach us on our social media handles. We have Lindsay's at My Vital Side. And then for myself, or Parr PT, it's at Parr PT Austin, and it's all together. We'd be happy to answer any more questions that you might have, and look forward to dropping some more knowledge on a lot of different things that are going on.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thanks.